What's up, everybody? I'm Doggie Diamonds. You're now watching Doggie Diamonds TV. Thank you for joining me. This is a part of the rundown. So this is part of Cassie's testimony. We found out what happened with Kid Cudi, and I'm going to go through it, but I'm going to skip around a little bit because certain things I can't say, certain things you can't talk about. Well, they don't allow me to talk about it. So just bear with me. I'm trying to get you stuff in its proper context, but I am going to omit some stuff that you're going to see on the screen. I'm not going to read it out loud. So this is from people.com, and it says Cassie started dating Kid Cudi, and what Diddy did next changed everything, she testified. Cassandra Cassie Ventura says she briefly dated rapper Kid Cudi, but had to break it off out of fear of her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Sean Diddy Combs' reaction. The Me and You singer and Combs began their volatile relationship in 2007 and were together till 2018. A decade, she alleges, was marked with an outburst from Combs. In 2011, she met rapper Scott Mescudi, whose stage name is Kid Cudi. At the time, she was not in the greatest place with Combs and began dating Mescudi, she told a Manhattan jury on Wednesday as the third day of Combs' trial wrapped up. Combs learned about Ventura and Mescudi's romantic involvement during one of his Notorious, where Ventura alleges Combs would make her, you see that? Combs came across an email between Ventura and Mescudi's staff about a toiletry bag. And I'm not gonna, I just remember him putting a wine opener between his fingers and lunging at me, she recalls of Combs' alleged reaction. She ran off to the hotel and called Mescudi using a burner phone, which she had because she did not want Combs to find out that she was dating the Pursuit of Happiness rapper. After briefly being at Mescudi's house, she decided to resolve the situation when Combs wanted to talk about it. This way it get a little crazy. When she arrived at the residence, an irate Combs, you see what it says on the screen, he threatened to release the videos and hurt both her and Mescudi, Ventura told the jury. I'm not going to read that, what he did to her out loud, but you can see it, Sean, you can see that. When she returned to her hotel room, she realized it had been torn up. And you can see what she said was on the floor, what happened to her clothes, and poop was in the toilet. Ventura alleges Combs was irate upon finding out and told her that he was going to end her, and claimed he made other about the rapper. You can see what it says. He mentioned when we were out of the country that Scott's car would be blown up and he wanted his friends to see it, Ventura told the jury. Mescudi's car eventually did blow up in his driveway, he told the New York Times in 2023. His reps did not immediately return the request for comment from people. Eventually, Ventura decided to stop dating Mescudi out of fear for both of their safety. So, it was always speculation at one point on the internet, and it was rumors. We heard he might have did something to Wale. We heard stories about somebody getting dangled over a balcony. We heard stuff like that. But I did hear about something happening to Kid Cudi car, and I guess this allegedly confirms it coming from Cassie's mouth. And this is just bugged out. And I did a video the other day saying like, okay, it's been 2 days of testimony, and we just keep hearing about how much of a weirdo Diddy is, in the sack and what he liked to witness. So I guess today they really went in trying to paint the picture and saying how and why she didn't leave. Because the internet banter is that why she didn't leave, why she stayed so long. So I guess now they're painting the picture of she was afraid of him and how volatile he was and how he would, carry out some of the things he said he was gonna do, like getting that homie car and putting his hands on her. And it's causing a big rift on the internet right now because I'm seeing a lot of people giving their opinion, and I'm seeing some ladies say, you know, I hope some of you dudes don't have daughters and all of that. That don't got shit to do with it. You know, we're talking about people who were celebrities. We're talking about people who was in a different tax bracket, different levels of understanding, different monies, different manipulations and all of that. Different manipulation tactics was being used. And some of us have been telling the world how Diddy was a bad person for years. And it will go on deaf ears because some of you who now know the truth or the alleged accusations against him, you starting to see what some of us was already been trying to tell you for years. And then now you're making a judgment of, but when I used to say it and others used to say it, we would get called broke. We would get called haters. We would get called this. Oh, I remember the comments. Oh, you always making videos about Diddy. You mad at, you know, people like to tell you what you mad at, you know. And I remember just making videos because I used to just tell people like, yo, he's not a good person, you know. He's just not a good person. And anytime that you get somebody who's really a sucker and they get power and money and prestige, a lot of times they abuse it. And, you know, Gene Deal has told you some things. I told you some things and countless others. But every time I remember people seeing Gene and like, oh, he talk about Diddy again. He talking about Diddy again. And I'm going to be real. I feel like Gene was one of the first people who was persistently talking about this man, where, in my opinion, it gave a lot of people bravery to start telling their story and telling the truth. Because this dude had a reign of terror for a long time, you know. And shit, imagine all the people that's not saying nothing. Imagine all the people who got paid off. But I don't want us, the audience, and us, the spectators, to start, you know, having rifts with each other, the gender wars, and, you know, you feeling sorry for a woman, or dudes feeling sorry because he's a man, and then it's like she deserved it, she didn't deserve it, he's a horrible, you know. All of that shouldn't take place. Everybody should just sit back, let all the facts come out, and then we go from there. But this happens. This is not new. This is not the first time anything like this has happened in history. This is just the first time some of these things has happened with social media. So with that, man, I'm Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. Leave me your comments below. Until next time, make sure you subscribe too. I appreciate y'all. Peace.